Thank you, Flash Season 1, for showing us how to do a real finale. Just a heads up, if you guys haven't been following along with Flash Season 1, there are a lot of spoilers here, so stop watching right now. Instead, just go read my blog or something. What's up, guys? I'm Jonesy, and this is Jonesy Comics. Now, if you guys haven't read it already, go over to my blog, jonesycomics.com, read my review of Arrow Season 3 finale. Why? Because I'm going to do Flash Season finale today, and it was just so good that I had to do a video about it. I didn't have a lot of good things to say about Arrow Season 3, and I have a lot of good things to say about Flash Season 1, so let's do this. The first word that I would use for this finale would be bold. Why bold? Normally in a TV show like this, a finale is going to be full of action. I mean, we're talking boom, pow, you know, explosions, action, go, 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 go. Not so much here. This episode was incredibly emotionally driven. Like the cast did an amazing job. I don't know where they got these acting chops from all of a sudden, but it absolutely blew my mind. Grant Gustin did a fantastic job. It was so emotionally driven and just awesome. That's it. That's the end of the review. It was awesome. That was great. There were so many scenes where Barry Allen has to put all this stuff together, make these immense decisions that are life-altering, literally, and to see him go through all this, to see the emotions that he pulls, it was heart-wrenching at times, and it was just so amazing to see that. Go Grant Gustin. Bravo, man. You took it just all the way. Basically what's going on is Barry has the opportunity to go back in time and erase his mother's death. Whereas if he does that, he has to set Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash, loose. He has to let him go. Barry is tied between all of this stuff. He doesn't know what to choose. Should he do this? Should he not do this? Should he just leave Eobard Thawne in there to rot? So Barry's very torn between all of this because he knows that if he goes back and prevents his mother from dying, he lives with his real family, and not this family that he's grown up with and known and been happy with. It's kind of one of those things like, I'm already happy. I have everything I have. Why would I change it? Even though I know that I could, I don't know what that could mean. One of the most intense scenes was definitely when he does go back in time finally through the wormhole, and he's witnessing the moments before his mother's about to be killed by the Reverse Flash. And as you see him peeking into the room, you see the swirling of his future self, and Reverse Flash fighting, and out of nowhere, his future self just stops, and puts his hand out and shakes his head. And immediately Barry knows, like, I'm not supposed to do this. I can't change this. So he's in this doorway looking at this, and he knows, and he slowly closes the door, and you see the camera focus on him, and he just has to, oh god, he has to sit there and just listen to his mother die. And it's just, oh, that look on his face, his breathing, his everything just screams tragedy and pain, and he's just suffering so much, and it was so good. I mean, it was really hard to watch, but it was so good. But the great thing is that at the end of it all, he gets to go into the room when his mother is just barely got a little bit of life left, and he gets to show her that he's the Flash in the future, that him and his dad are okay, and she's just so proud of him in that moment before she finally just dies. And oh man, he was just crying, and I was crying, and if anybody else was hanging out with me, they would have been crying or laughing at me because I'm crying. I'm sorry. There was a lot of moments like that. Barry was just, his face, like, what a way to just put emotions, 1,000 words of emotions into one look on his face. Just so pure And I felt like, you know, even though there was a script, you know, there are moments with Joe, he's just sitting there like not knowing what to do, and the weight of the world is on his shoulders, and it was just so good. So just intense. Let's get a little bit more into the end. That's what I really want to talk about, especially to kind of patch things up for people who aren't quite sure what's going on. During the end, when Reverse Flash is about to leave through the wormhole, you see a metal cap, like a metal bowl with wings on it, come out of the wormhole. And everybody's like, wait, what is that? And it was really funny because Eobard Thawne was like, oh, it's a sign for me to leave. If you guys don't know, that is Jay Garrick's hat, who is the original Flash from the Golden Age of comics. That's before the Silver Age, where Barry Allen was the main Flash. He's also considered Earth 2 Flash now. That means a lot of things. His hat just flying out of there like that. I saw it, I was like, what? What? There's a moment where Eobard Thawne is telling Cisco that Rip Hunter would be proud of his time machine. Now, I already kind of went over this with you guys, Rip Hunter being in the Legends of Tomorrow, but that's really interesting that he's saying that, because that means it kind of ties him into, you know, the whole thing. And Rip Hunter is definitely now a presence in these shows and in the DC universe on the TV side, so that's really cool. At one moment, you know, Barry Allen comes bursting out of the wormhole and smashes into the Reverse Flash, and they're duking it out for a couple of minutes, not very long at all, and it doesn't look like the Flash is going to come out of it okay. It looks like the Reverse Flash is dominating this fight once again. Well, the really cool thing about this, and just this is the moment where it was like Red Wedding material, where I was just like, no, no, no. But this was the moment that changed it all for me. This was like, this is the best episode I've seen all year. Arrow, Flash, whatever. This is the moment right here. Eddie Thawne has been this very sub character in the Flash this whole season, pretty much. You know, he got captured by Eobard Thawne and was told the truth about who he is, but he still wasn't really doing anything. And Eobard Thawne instilled this idea into his head that he was kind of nothing in this whole story. Whereas Martin Stein was going, no, you are the biggest anomaly in this whole story, because you have the choice to change your own destiny. You have the choice to choose your own story, which people in these time instances don't usually get. Fate is kind of set upon them no matter how they change time. So at the very end of all this, Reverse Flash has the upper hand. Eddie immediately takes his pistol and shoots himself. And you see the camera after the bang, and there's Eddie's chest covered in this nice blood spot. And he falls to the ground, dies, and Iris is freaking out and over him, and Cisco's like, no, oh my god, and I'm sitting there going, no, no, Eddie! Freaking out. And then you start to see Eobard Thawne kind of erasing, like, because Eddie Thawne took this bravery and sacrificed himself, Eobard Thawne is getting erased from time and history itself. So, huge moment there, just crazy huge moment. Let's also talk about, before the Reverse Flash dies, he's talking to Cisco. And earlier in the episode, he kind of mentioned to Cisco, you know, you were affected by the particle accelerator as well. You are a part of this. And for those of you guys who don't know, Cisco Ramon in the original comic book stories was a hero. I think he might have been turned kind of like an anti-hero, but he was originally the Vibe, which was at the time kind of a weird superhero, because I guess he was trying to portray diversity at the time, which is why he was Hispanic. But yeah, he was originally like this Soundwave guy who was like a break dancer, so I don't think they'll go that route with it. but he's definitely a sonic wave hero, manipulating sound waves and sonic waves to kind of basically do whatever he wants to do. And we've seen Cisco dealing with that throughout the season. He's very into that technology. So I think we're going to go ahead and I think we're going to see the Vibe show up in Season 2 or Season 3, however long it takes for them to get his backstory going, whatever. But he's got a hand in all this, which is really cool. Now at the end, the black hole's in the sky and it's sucking everything in the city into it and about to go, you know, countrywide, globally. Like, it's just this catastrophe that Martin Stein was like, it's bad. If this happens, it's bad. At one point, you're seeing some people on the ground looking up at it, and you see like Captain Cold and the commissioner, the detective, the top guy. He's out of his car looking up. But at one point, really quick, if you guys didn't notice, if you haven't seen the trailer for Legends of Tomorrow, go watch it. But there's Hot Girl, the person they cast for Hot Girl. She's like looking up at it, and it's actually the same clip from the trailer. She's and it was kind of a stupid looking face, I'm not gonna lie. Like, she kind of but it was cool. Hey, a little cameo. What's up, Hot Girl? But like I said before, they're definitely gonna need to give her some backstory before Legends of Tomorrow happens, or like they roll into the story of it. They can do it in episode 1, that's fine. Amazing special effects and CGI in this episode. Of course, it always has to be when they're doing the Flash. You know, if you don't have a good graphics team, it's not going to be good because the Flash moves at high speed. So, if you can't portray that in a realistic way that we can grasp onto, you're just going to see him running around as a blur the whole time. That's not really exciting. So, really good graphics, really good CGI, really good special effects. Good job to that team. Just awesome. When he's running around the particle accelerated and you see the blue and the sparks, absolutely amazing. When he comes blasting through the wormhole and you just see his fist, whoa. The best scene, the most expensive scene, the most time-consuming scene, the most awesome scene was when he is running toward the black hole. He's gonna run, you know, opposite of it, like he did with the tornado at the very beginning of the season. He is running up this building that's falling / climbing into the black hole. He's running up it, and you see his dad real quick, like looking at it, going, "Barry, So there's that. But as he's running up, he's dodging debris. He's using the debris to jump and propel himself higher, closer to the black hole. And then, right at the end, you see the Flash jump into the black hole, and that's it. Boom! This is what I'm talking about. Bold. Not only did they leave you with a cliffhanger, not only did they not completely tie up loose ends, not only did they leave you hanging on 1,000 other things, but they left you with a real, honest, 100% cliffhanger. That was bold. This is absolutely amazing. And I was so angry, yet I got it, but I'm still mad that they left you at that point at the end of season 1. Because now I have to wait, and that's the idea, I know, but man, was that a cliffhanger. The only weak thing that I could possibly complain about, if I really needed to try, would just be Caitlin. Caitlin was a little on the weak side of this whole episode. I only think that's just because she didn't have much to say. There was not really much going on with her. Still not much development on her character, which, you know, will one day, if Cisco's going to be the Vibe, she's going to be Killer Frost, which is interesting because Killer Frost is generally seen as a villain. No, she's a villain. So that's going to be interesting to see. But no, she's usually with Firestorm, but yeah, it turns out to be a villain. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. But Caitlin was a little on the weak side this episode. Also, the wedding was a little bit forced. I was just kind of bummed out about that, I guess, because I would have liked to see a whole event. Like, I would love to see, like, the Trickster returning to ruin Caitlyn's wedding next season or something like that. To make a whole episode out of it would have been a little bit cooler. But hey, I guess they did what they had to do. But then it was weird because I saw the wedding. I was like, well, this wedding's happening. I guess we'll see like a whole episode for Eddie and Iris's wedding. Nope. All in all, this episode, holy cow. Thank you to the creative team of The Flash. Thank you, CW. Thank you to all the producers. Thank you to the cast. So good. You guys did amazing. Grant Gustin, I know you're watching this. No, you're not. But it was awesome. It was amazing. I hope they keep up this momentum with season 2. They've got so much momentum that even with a break, they can hit the ground running so fast. Flash speeds. They need to take this to the next level fast. They need to do it strong. But this is so much potential for season 2. He's just now learning about the Speed Force. He's just now learning. He doesn't even know that, spoiler alert, he is the Speed Force. He isn't just a part of it. He's not just tapping into it. Barry Allen is the energy that propels all speedsters. So we've got to get into that. But just really amazing. I feel really confident about Grant Gustin going into this journey as the Flash. I will try to think, since I don't have a blog post ready now, because this was supposed to be my blog post, I will try and figure out something to do. I was thinking of maybe a history of Rip Hunter. If you guys want to read some of the more intricate details, I will do a blog post, and I'll kind of do some research too, so that not only do you have my blog post to read, but you have extended links at the bottom, kind of do like a little bibliography for you, so you can go to those other websites and read about Rip Hunter as well. Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching this episode. If you guys agreed, like, subscribe, comment down below, or even if you didn't agree, if you disagreed, go ahead and do the same thing. Let me know why you didn't like it. I would love to hear that. I think there's probably several people out there who didn't, because it's not the same. It's not an action-packed finale. It's not closing up the loose ends. If you liked Arrow Season 3 finale, you will probably hate Season 1 finale. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any other suggestions or anything like that you'd like me to do for videos, just let me know. Until then, guys, I'm Jonesy Comics, and I will see you later!